Hi, my name is Joanne Swenson, and I'm the senior minister at Church in the Forest in Pebble Beach. This is the 9th in a series of video messages that we call Light from the Forest. And because this is number 9, that means that we have been in quarantine now for over 63 days. In fact, today we are at 66. And 66 days is an auspicious period of time, according to educational psychologists. They say that we need 66 days in order to learn something at a very deep level, in order that this learning begins to alter our behavior, to change our habits of thought, to really be assimilated into our lives. 66 days. For instance, last night, I was standing in the kitchen next to my husband, John, and I was chopping cilantro. Now, this would have been impossible 66 days ago. 66 days ago, John would not have permitted cilantro into the household. But about 10 weeks ago, our daughter Siri came to live and work with us during the pandemic, and she's been making almost all of our evening meals. And Siri really likes cilantro, so she has been slowly and secretly introducing cilantro into the food that she has been preparing. And so 66 days later, John actually likes cilantro. Well, what have you learned in these past 66 days? I know that many of us have learned to properly wash our hands. Now when we turn on that water faucet, we can't help but sing happy birthday to you 2 times over. Many have learned to master Zoom. In fact, I heard of some folks who had Mother's Day celebrations over Zoom. Some of our church members, like Christy Sutphin, have learned to sew beautiful face masks out of delightful fabric in these past 66 days. And of course, I think everyone has learned to be kind, not just to friends and neighbors, but to be kind to strangers, to show gratitude to frontline workers like grocery store clerks and delivery truck drivers, to slow down and to focus on family, to drive less, to walk more, to enjoy nature. Why have we been such good learners, even though we haven't had blackboards and teachers during our pandemic? I think it's because our learning has really followed a natural and intuitive way that educators describe. First, we're deeply motivated. We have a desire from within to learn these new things. Second, we almost immediately try to apply what we have learned. And third, we let that learning begin to change us. For example, I went through this process just yesterday. I was on the phone with Bob Jansen, and Bob was so excited. He had just come in from the golf course, and he had first heard and then seen a rare bird, the California thrasher. Well, I had never heard of this bird, but Bob's excitement was simply infectious. So I got on the internet and I found a picture of the thrasher and I listened to its recorded bird call. And then I wanted to apply that knowledge. So late in the afternoon, I rode my bicycle down to that place near the golf course where Bob had seen the thrasher, and I stopped and I waited, wondering if I would see one too. I wasn't successful, but I tried. But now I am changed. I will never bicycle past that part of the golf course without wondering, is there a thrasher there? And perhaps one day I'll get lucky and I'll see one. MAC, we're motivated, we apply that learning, and then we let that learning change us. So there is so much that we have learned as individuals in these past 66 days, but especially we have let that learning change us. The more pressing question, however, is, will we let our learning change us as a society? In the past 2 weeks, I have read a number of editorials that have all asked that question. They're all saying, we have learned so much during this pandemic, but now will those lessons stick? Will those lessons change us? For instance, lessons about the health of human beings is deeply entwined with the health of the animals that we eat. Or a lesson that global threats really require global collaboration. Or finally, if we are to face the divisive and difficult questions of this pandemic and other future challenges, we need to start with a set of shared facts facts that arise from reputable science. There is so much we have learned as individuals, but even more that we must learn as a society. And learning is ultimately measured by how much we change. You know, the Bible equates wisdom with the ability to change. Proverbs 9:9 says that if you ask a wise person to change, that wise person will become not only wiser, but he or she will love you. But if you ask a scoffer to change, a scoffer will merely hate you. And so it's time for us to consider how much have we as individuals learned and changed, and how much can we as a society change because of these 66 days.